We've had multiple plus twos that are not successful featured on the channel now. A lot of times we talk about that conversation like it's the worst possible key you can ever do, worst possible failure you can ever have. And Blizzard kind of acknowledges this because a failed two doesn't actually go backwards. It can't become a zero, so it just stays exactly what it was. But usually those groups are straight up like either toxic, something wrong with the actual composition, something wrong with what's in the key, and it results in somebody leaving or some other malalignment that causes the key to not succeed. Today, we are going to show you guys a plus two that does not have that and still does not succeed. Honestly, don't think I've ever seen something like this before. This is one I've been sitting on for a while, so let's just get right into it. And it is two rise, yeah. The UI is, we could do a full review on the actual gameplay too, I guess. Maybe it wouldn't be the worst thing. I just don't really get what's with all the combat text. Like, I don't know how anybody looks at that and be like, yeah, that's right. I like that. I want that to be that way. Doing a much more aggressive choice here now. We're going to pull both of these sides together. This is actually a very interesting idea, and I've considered doing this in the past. I really like the first pull that I'm doing now. Obviously, again, this was a while ago, so I'm sure tech has developed over the months, but you know, we see a big problem here. Like in general, whenever you pull all these together, we have the corroding volley just kind of going out constantly, not really anybody actually doing anything about it. I mean, I suppose that's what a two looks like. I hear people talk about this all the time, like nobody's interrupting, blah, blah, blah. You hear this said like even in higher keys, but like I never really believe it. I think it's people just miss their interrupts. But in this case, like you can just look at the interrupt tracker and it's just like straight up not flashing, like yeah, just cast after cast going out. But you can also see the DPS chart here and there. You'll be able to see another problem that they have in this key. I don't know what like a fresh character looks like nowadays. Like I really don't. I've done it a few times myself, but not in season 3. I know you can buy greens and stuff on the auction house, but like I'm pretty sure that even if I made like a fresh holy pally, I would come in here and do more than 15k on a pack like that. I always wonder like how exactly these types of things happen where you have people doing less than 20k DPS as a damage dealing spec. I assume it's some combination of just like not pressing spells, maybe even like straight up AFK, otherwise occupied by something else. And it's a hard conversation to have because like, yeah, typically, you know, I would have this conversation and be like, but who cares? It's a 2, right? Like it's not going to cause any actual issues. That's what I would normally expect to say in this situation. But now we're reviewing a key where it does cause actual issues. So it's like, do we weight the same issues like per key level that we would for any other key level? Like, you know, obviously if somebody was doing 13k DPS as a fire mage in a 25, then it would be a complete joke, right? But like, you know, it's a 2, so maybe it's okay. Like, I don't know if this is normal. I don't know where this number is coming from. The unique part about this footage too is like just watching them do the bosses and watching them like kind of position, and especially noticeable because it's 5 ranged effectively, well 4 ranged in a tank. Just watch how they like actually engage this encounter. It's so strange. Just gonna literally like all 4 people are just gonna stand over in that area there, like wherever they were standing when the boss gets aggroed, spread that mechanic out. Like it's very strange. Tank mechanic comes out, almost knocks him off, but luckily he's in a good position where he doesn't get knocked off. Here comes the dividing strike, and that's what we're talking about. We have 4 people that are about 100 yards away from the fight. It doesn't kill the tank. I don't know what that's supposed to do if nobody soaks it. Like literally nobody soaked it other than the tank. I think it's supposed to buff the boss, but on a 2, I guess it doesn't even matter. I can't actually tell if we bloodlust it. Like I don't see any debuffs anywhere, but yeah, here we go. This is just straight up like every single ball is going to hit the boss at this point. Like people are starting to get onto it. They're starting to realize it, but yeah, a lot are hitting and it just doesn't kill anybody, right? Like, I mean, this is crazy how easy a 2 actually is. It's so freaking easy. People talk about this all the time, like go do a 2 and learn, bro. You're not going to learn anything. These guys straight up are letting every mechanic go wrong and nobody is even responding or even making any progress on learning them, and nobody's wiping. Now we have a very interesting decision. We're going to go down this way. I heard people talk about this like from like a serious perspective, like getting trash in this area is somewhat valuable because then you could skip even more later. And we're going to like keep going too. Like we cleared that pack and he's going to continue to go over here. Okay, so the tank is now opening the map. I think he's lost, honestly. I think he's trying to figure out where to actually go. He's probably realizing at this point he just went around in a big circle that doesn't have any bearing on the success of the key. But nobody says anything. That's the craziest thing, dude. When we did the low keys last season, I was so shocked at how many people just straight up did weird things and nobody commented on them. We have the like maze unfolding here. He's doing pretty good with it, to be honest. Like I don't know if it's the first time he's ever seen some of this stuff, but like yeah, I remember the first time I did this, I was lost. I could not figure this out. I got hit like a million times straight. Still, I mean, to be honest, still I have a lot of trouble with it, but he's actually gonna like straight up succeed here. Like that is impressive as hell considering what we're watching. I think a funny part here is he's gonna actually open up MDT as well. Like the guy has imported a route, Raider IO weekly route, and it's got the whole thing on here, but they've opened the rift. I don't know, like, I wonder if the people in this key level, like, straight up don't know that now the rift is open and they can click it and it'll bring them down here. I think that's probably what's happening here. We got one guy down here. The other, it looks like, I know one of the mages is just like lost. He's just probably still back in that thing. I guess it doesn't matter though. Like, as long as you open the rift, you're good. The guy will get here eventually, so you can just keep going. I'm gonna go ahead and pull this. Still, I don't see a sated debuff, so it looks like we've gone now 11 minutes without using Bloodlust. This area is probably mayhem too. Like, if you've never done this, I remember the first time I did this was actually on the PTR, and I was so freaking confused in this area. This is unlike anything I've ever seen in the game, but I don't think it's like abundantly obvious that the goal here is to actually clear to those portals. There's a bunch of like elites and non-elites on the screen, but like I think like your average player who's doing this for the first time won't be able to parse the difference between the mobs. They'll see a bunch of enemies and they'll think like, oh, we just got to clear all of them or something like that, and then they'll just kind of do this, like they're just kind of standing in the middle and not really making any progress towards one side. I guess if you do this though, like you will eventually just clear 100% of the sand. I'd actually love to see that someday. Like, anybody has any footage of 100% of the sand cleared, I would love to see what the room looks like. But yeah, I think, oh, maybe he doesn't even know, like it's dangerous to run in there, but maybe on a 2 it's just like not really dangerous. I don't know. It seems like it must scale with the damage taken from like the actual key level. It looks like we're now gonna just like, I'm not really sure, but yeah, just like clearing out the areas near portals. I guess we're gonna go to the middle one. This is probably like actually the most confusing mega dungeon. Like, it's actually kind of crazy. Every other mega dungeon takes place in 2 very different areas, but this actually takes place in the exact same area in both halves. You go through the same physical location multiple times in both dungeons, and it's very like, I feel like it turns you around really easily, especially if you're new. Like, if you've never done either dungeon and you're doing both of them maybe back to back, you'll be like, wait, is this fall, is it rise? Like, I can't remember where to go. But yeah, I mean, we're tanking them kind of in the middle, so like the sand is not even going away at this point. Looks like we finally activated one of the portals. Chromie is now channeling into that one there. Well, maybe not. Instead of going into the portal, we're just kind of like going backwards. I think I'm not surprised. I think it literally makes you think like, I got to clear out the whole room. I would not be surprised if people did this more frequently. But I just love like, look at everybody's just kind of like walking around in circles. He accidentally walks into the portal and gets moved over there. Like, the DPS or aggrog some of the stuff and just like killing it in the middle of the room. Like, if you're new, you got to learn somewhere. But this is, you know, we talked about this a few times now. Like, the game is not doing anything to teach this person that they did anything wrong, and it's a real issue, dude. Like, I'm talking about a non-upgraded 2 here, and they still, even with everything that's going on right now, only fail it by like, I think it's 2 or 3 minutes, man. It's kind of crazy. Watching this is tough. I apologize. This may be triggering some of you guys, man, but it's gonna be shown. It's like we're kiting them now, like we're just kind of pulling them and then running away. I don't know. I think he thinks maybe they need to go into the portal. He's trying to take them over there maybe. Good news is eventually we will have all the mobs dead. It looks like once you activate the portal, the small ones stop spawning as well, which is very interesting. I don't know how this room actually works, but like, it makes me wonder, like, can you run out of mobs? Like, he's pulled so many of them, there's no more respawning, and that sand is not cleared. So like, what happened if he continued to pull these mobs to the middle of the room and nothing actually got cleared? Like, I guess you just would run through it. It wouldn't really matter, but he goes, these need to be lit, don't they? Lit. Yeah, you just stand next to it is how it works. So just need to do that, and we got that done now. They got into that room with 11 minutes on the key, and it is now 19 minutes as they're leaving the room though. So they just spent 8 minutes in that area. I think the rest of the dungeon is very straightforward, but maybe not, because there's kind of like that weird middle area here. So we are going to just go ahead and fight Morchie now. We still haven't used the Bloodlust spell. We got 2 mages. This fight's probably like low-key impossible though for people. Like, I don't know how easy it is to actually break it out on this level, but I feel like if it only takes one person, maybe it's okay. But I bet like a lot of times people just do not get out of that mechanic. We have the ad spawn. I mean, it doesn't really look like anybody has any idea what they're doing with them, but like, yeah, again, it's not really causing any actual issues. It's just kind of funny to see like everybody just kind of like running around in circles. One guy did get killed by the frontal from that middle phase there, the hats phase. Now we have actually 2 dead because the other guy got killed by his ad. Look, you can barely see it because of the way the UI is, but like, yeah, we have the guy who's alive, Abrothiel. He's doing 14,000 DPS right now. He did 1.9 million damage on this encounter. The sandblast. Oh, that was really sad. Did you watch? Hold on, let's go back to watch that again. Okay, so the shaman is just in the dead center of the room. Here comes the boss from the other corner, and the tank is just pointing the sandblast right at that poor shaman. He just gets one shot by it, dude. Now we're gonna go over this side, which is probably again a common mistake, quote unquote, if you want to call it that. Like, pulling both sides is like not good at all, but obviously a lot of people probably don't realize you can go back through the middle of the other area. Progressing into the next area now, which is like not really, yeah. I might be confused in this area myself. I feel like the first time I came through here, I remember being very confused. Again, especially because I did fall first. So I'm like, wait, this is the same room from fall. So I should just be going into the middle one, but you can't go in the middle one yet. The guy's like randomly inspecting people. I don't, okay, yeah, that guy's in like a bunch of greens. I don't know if he's doing that because of like how low the guy's damage is, but like actually that, like, I mean, that's not even that low gear. I feel like if you have like everything above 415, that's like what a fresh character would look like, right? In a lower key, it's probably easier to come in this side, although I guess we have way more trash over here, so maybe not. We're actually gonna we're gonna end up just kind of standing in the middle and fighting all, like, what's there, 8? There's 8 of these guys. I didn't even realize. I really feel like this whole dungeon's like every single boss in this dungeon though is probably so confusing for the first time player. You come in here and you're like, what is this? Why is there just a giant tank and a bunch of NPCs fighting each other? Especially when you realize that you can actually target them and damage them, but they don't have proper health bars. Yeah, we are now under 10 minutes left in the dungeon, and you know, I think the craziest part that needs to be mentioned here is, again, on top of everything we said, like there's no toxicity, there's no levers, there's no people AFKing, no people like trolling. On top of that, dude, they have only 8 deaths right now, right? Like this is kind of nuts. I did never expect to see a key like this. It's like there's more deaths in a Rise 26, an upgrade can still happen, than there is right now in this 2. Standing just in the dead center of the room though, definitely not advisable, but yeah, I mean, like in terms of like mechanical failures, like they just don't exist. Like you could really do everything you want wrong in here and you're still going to be fine in here. Yeah, okay, so here we go. So now here, this is funny. So instead of now going back the way they came, he's going to just, I mean, wait, hold on a second. What are we even doing here? We aggroed the trash and now we just like mounted up and just running by it. I don't know if he just didn't think it was going to aggro or what. He types go, which is, I mean, not an option, right? Like I maybe they, yeah, I guess they think you can just walk through the portal or something like that, but no, of course you have to be out of combat for that. Yeah, this is the thing that you like have to learn about this. Like they don't exit the same direction. Like where you enter is not where you exit each time. I didn't realize that the first time I ever did it either. So like he come in the middle area, which is where they need to go now, but instead we're gonna go out the front area. So back to that room with the sand in it. Time is ticking too, man. We're down to 6 minutes left in the key. It's actually remarkable that it's only this few minutes over time now that I know where we're at in the dungeon. We're basically going the complete wrong direction, so we're just gonna have like probably like at least a minute or more of like kind of backtracking and figuring out where to go. We're back in the middle of the room, like checking the map, trying to figure it out. The weird, oh dude, did you see that manifested time ways is on the freaking map? Like Blizzard is actually confusing people with this. Oh no, don't go up here. Where are we going now? Oh my god, and everybody's following too. This is so scary, dude. This is so crazy. It's straight up. They're gonna go back. Can you go back? I don't know what happens. He's gonna click the portal. Oh no. Click the portal. They're back to first boss. Oh my god, I've never seen something like this before. Oh no. Wow. All right. Oh man. Okay, this is actually wild. This is not what I expected to happen at all. And like, I don't know where half the group, they all followed him. I think like 100% of the group followed him. You can see the map on the top right. The guy, the group leader, the guy who has a 2 says mid maybe, but the tank says no, we need to get this mob here. You're getting killed by the sand. I guess maybe that's not obvious. Yeah, go, perfect. Now you're not in the sand anymore. Perfect. This may not be the right decision making process though. Like I don't know. Yeah, okay, good. He's gonna go ahead and not do that anymore. Where did everybody else go? Everybody else left him, dude. Oh no. He's alone. Oh, this is bad. Wow, I did not expect it to end like this, man. He's actually gonna go back to, wow, back to the first boss. Just see if you can fight Tyr again. Maybe it'll bug out and finish the dungeon by doing that. The mage is now instructing him. He said then right. I think it says them, but yeah, then right. Yeah, they're gonna end up having to go back through the Morchie area just to get back to the middle area to go on to the rest of the dungeon. Actually, you know what, dude? Like all things that happen in this dungeon, I think this is the real reason they don't upgrade it. I mean, now we're just kind of standing here. I guess you know, honestly, dude, like Blizzard's map is really confusing there. Like the fact that they actually have the previous dungeons, like they have Falls boss listed there, that is ridiculous. Chronocar, like come on, that is so confusing. I swear they made like the most complicated dungeon they could make for a Mythic 0 dungeon. Well, we were on the right track, then we were just gonna go back through there. You know, they have a warlock. They could potentially summon them if they're in the right spot, but it doesn't look like they are because the other mage says, nah, I'm bad. I don't know. No, he's back. Wait, where does this portal go? Oh, this this actually works. Oh, I didn't even know that. So once you clear both sides, yeah, you can actually just run through this middle portal like if it was fall. So yeah, okay, now we're back in the middle. Oh, wow. Okay, I did not know that was even an option. Now it looks like, yeah, it's just a straight shot. Yeah, Chromie's actually guiding them. Oh, this is big. Chromie is actually here to guide them. You see that? Chromie's like, come on, guys, this way. It's this way. You can still upgrade this, man. You can blast. You can still do it. Chromie's still leading them. Like, she is taking over, dude. It is actually being carried by Chromie right now. But I mean, where is everybody else? Because this is the first time. It's being opened now for the first time. So everybody else, the other 3 players are just, where are they? Are they in fall now? Like, where have they gone? I don't, how are they going to get down here? Like, do they know that they can die? They probably don't know that. So they're probably just going to keep running around in circles. First time I was in this room too, it confused the hell out of me. And look, it has all the bosses from the Mythic Zero. It's so confusing. Do we have all 5 people here? Yeah, okay. All 5 people are actually here. We're fighting. This is the hardest pack in here. Really, the whole dungeon is kind of summarized by this one pack. Failing to interrupt the shielding, but I guess that's not necessarily surprising at this point. We're gonna have another death here too. Abrothale, probably just like getting hit by all of those swirls. He's just gonna go down. Chart is still wild, dude. The Warlock doing 75k, and then the group leader is doing 26,000 DPS. Dude, this one mob is at like full health too. Like, what is even going on? They've been fighting this forever. It's still at 30% health. Just the shields just keep going off over and over and over again. So they probably like burn through like triple the health pool at this point. But yeah, so they actually are going to get up here, and the boss is like still alive, and they haven't succeeded timer wise. So we can start talking about it. Obviously they're going to kill the boss. I don't know. I'm so shocked. I mean, obviously, you know, on it, like, it's pretty bad. Like, they're running around in circles. They're lost like multiple times. The whole group going the right direction multiple times. I can't help but laugh at that. But like, I'm just still shocked to see a key that is not upgraded as a 2. And with, dude, not a single negative word was said. No toxicity. Nobody arguing. Almost nothing was said, period. To see a key where like 5 players are all trying their best and it not succeed at this key level. Usually it's all sabotage. Usually it's something, you know, not related to the difficulty of the dungeon that's causing it. In this case, you're almost able to say that same thing, because like really a lot of the problems they had were just not related to the dungeon at all. Like, in terms of the Mythic plus scaling element of it, obviously, you know, the layout of the dungeon caused more problems than anything. You got big respect here to the fact that you actually have somebody submit this. Like, for this to happen, it does take all 5 people to not know what they're talking about. You know what's an unsung hero too here, dude? We have a Resto Shaman doing 8k DPS. Like, I literally see healers in 20 pluses do less DPS than this on bosses. It's actually kind of crazy. Like, this is a solid group. Like, there is, so look at the boss at 3% when it comes down, dude. Like, still got 51 points for that. Current score 184. Blasting. So that is it. A +2 with 9 deaths and not an upgrade. I never thought I would see the day. I never thought I would see the day where 5 people all try their best and actually fail to upgrade it too. If you guys are out there running low keys especially, please, please, please hit that record button. There's so much absurd stuff going on, so much funny stuff, so much stuff that we can learn from as well. I appreciate everybody who has been submitting videos. I hope you guys will continue to do so. Thank you for watching. We will see you guys in the next video.